Hello, welcome back, and we're doing Free Guy today. So the movie starts off with, oh, by the way, there will be spoilers. The movie starts off with Guy waking up, and he does his usual, says hello to his goldfish, looks out the window, and he closes the blinds and stuff like that, and he's like, and that will play a part. If I don't say it, I'll put it on the, I'll put it like a text or something if I forget to explain why that's so important later. But he watches TV and then he goes to work. He works at a bank, and his friend Buddy and him are walking to the bank, and he's kind of like, life. Oh, I'm waiting for the right person, but he's like, oh yeah, well, maybe she'll show up, maybe she won't. I don't know. But every day, this bank gets robbed, and there's also the beginning of the movie. As Guy's explaining, he goes, "There's these cool guys that wear sunglasses, and they get the girl, they get this cool car, they get to do all that stuff, and then there's us who aren't sunglasses people." So the place gets robbed, and they end up leaving there. I think they're going to get like some ice cream or something like that. And this girl walks by, and she's wearing sunglasses, and she's talking. And I think she starts singing a song or something, and automatically, it clicks in Guy's head. It's like, wait a minute, this girl's different. And so then he kind of falls in love. And so then he chases her, but he's like, well, what the hell are you doing? And before he can get to her, he gets hit by a train. And so then he wakes up, says hello to his goldfish, checks the blinds, but now he's like, wait a minute, that girl. So he starts thinking, and so the bank gets robbed again, and so he ends up accidentally killing the robber. And so the robber drops his sunglasses. He puts them on. He finds out that there's text that he can't see, but when he puts the glasses on, then he's like, oh crap! What? And he's like, health pack. So he goes and gets the health pack, and he gets all his health back, basically. And then at this time, there's two creators, and they're kind of like wait a minute, is this guy a hacker? So Keys and Mouser. It's funny when we watch the movie. I don't pick up on their names, but to see their names, I'm like, oh, okay, that's kind of funny. So Keys and Mouser, they go chase him down. They are the programmers for this video game I think it's called Free Guy. So, and they're like, okay, well, the Free Guy number 2 is launching, so we need to make sure that all the everything is good to go. So they go in, they find Guy, and they end up chasing him down. Guy's able to get away, but by the end he gets hit by Keys and Mouser in a cop car. So he wakes up and he's kind of like what the hell is going on? And so then he ends up falling. We go back to Millie, who is also her avatar is Molotov girl. So he ends up finding a Molotov girl, and she's like, hey, who are you? Can you leave me alone? And then she's like, hey, you're level 1. So if you get to level 100, then we'll talk. So then she sets him away because he ends up somehow the guards see. So Molotov girl Millie is her and Keys they created this game, and they sold the rights to Antoine, but Antoine made this game called Free Guy. But Millie believes that Antoine is using the code for the game that Keys and Millie had sold them. So she's trying to find this code that's in Free Guy, and so that's why she's trying to get to the safe house, this cache, because if she can find the data, then she can prove that Antoine owes both Keys and Millie money. So Guy starts doing positive things, and he becomes an internet sensation. And you have all these YouTubers going like, "Wow, yeah, this guy's pretty good. Pretty good. I think you have Jacksepticeye, Pokimane, Ninja, some guy I don't know, and then you have Laserbeam." So, Free Guy levels up. He gets to 100, and then he ends up Millie ends up breaking into Keys' house and like, "Hey, you should help me get this code, because there's, it's gonna take two. We can't just, I can't just do it myself." So Keys is like, "Okay, whatever." So he goes into the bathroom and he helps Millie get into this safe house, and so he's like, "Hey, you only have an X amount of time." So she gets in there, and then Guy comes out of nowhere and starts helping Millie, and Keys is like, "You're the only one that's in there." And Millie's like, "No, there's definitely a guy in here. There's definitely somebody else in here with me." So then they end up getting away. Later on, we'll see Antoine come in, and he's kind of like directing people, like saying, "Hey, we need to make sure that this launch for Free Guy 2 is going to go successful," and stuff like that. Like I said, Guy is becoming an internet sensation, so there's gonna be a big blank spot there. I'm like, I can't think of what it is. So later on, we find out now that they have found the code for that, but they have to be able to show it now. And by the time that they see the picture of, so the code before was an island, and what the game was is it was all AI intelligent, and the AI was supposed to grow over time. So every time that they would learn something so the Guy is essentially part of the code. And so Guy is out in his and before we get to this, Antoine says, "Hey, we need to reset the game." So they end up resetting the game, and so everything is wiped. And so Guy doesn't remember Millie, and then somehow Millie like kisses a Guy or whatever, and so he's able to redraw his memory. And then he goes, "Oh yeah, every time I flip my my blinds, there's an island." And so Millie's like, "Okay, we have to get to that island." And now Antoine knows that something's going on, so he's kind of like, "All right, we need to shut down this game." So he ends up telling Mouser, because now Keys has gone rogue, and Keys is like, "Oh yeah, you did use my code, okay." And so Antoine fires Keys. So now Guy and Millie are heading to this island, because where it is the code is off the there's an ocean surrounding this place, so they have to so Keys sets up a path to go past the water, but Antoine starts breaking all the, well, first he all the player characters are all booted. So Millie gets booted, and she tells Guy like, "Hey, you're the only one that can do this." So Guy he's going to the ocean, but before Antoine sets out a Guy lookalike, which is the dude, So he dude is essentially, like I said, a guy lookalike. So they go into a fight scene. You get to see, I think they do a Portal reference, a Fortnite reference, and some other one I don't quite remember. But they before dude can kill guy puts the sunglasses on dude, and dude's like, oh, well, this is pretty cool. So he runs off, and that's the end of that fight. So Buddy, at this time, Buddy had shown up, and he kind of got his ass beat by dude. And so Guy and Buddy are running across this bridge, and now Antoine is like freaking out. So he goes to destroy all the servers. So as he's destroying all the servers, the Free Guy city is being destroyed, and all the civilians are running up to this tower, and then Guy and Buddy are running over this bridge, and then Buddy gets evaporated. But Guy ends up making it to the island to prove that Keys and Millie, that is their game code. So somehow Millie shows up to confront Antoine, and she says, "Hey, you can have Free Guy. I just want the code. Just give me the code back. You can have Free Guy. You can have all the rest of this." So they end up. Antoine's like, "All right, that's fine." So Antoine gives him the code. Now this, I don't remember what they call it, but this game is now the most popular game where people just watch the AIs interact with each other, and they grow. And Buddy comes back. He's like, "Hey, yeah, I was there, and now I'm here, and I run a centaur, and yeah." So yeah, the movie ends. I enjoyed this movie. For being a gamer, it's always fun when you see things on TV, or not on TV, but in movies, and you're like, "Oh, I get that reference. That I understand that reference." Especially being like a big Fortnite fan, to seeing the camel pickaxe, I was like, "Oh, dude, that's fucking amazing." And actually, another thing that's special is when we play Fortnite, Corey, you've probably seen some of the videos. He gets to play as the dude, or Brennan bought the dude for Corey, and so like just seeing the dude, I'm like, "Oh, there's Corey," So yeah, I enjoy this movie. The biggest thing that I didn't like, and this is the same thing that if you ever seen the movie Gamer, when people are watching, it's the way they kind of zoom out, and it's just like who's the cameraman? Who's following Guy? Because the other thing, so Guy was doing all these challenges, but Guy's not an actual character, so who's actually following Guy? And that was the other thing. Like all these YouTubers are coming back to like, "Oh yeah, Guy. Nobody knows who this guy is." So, but he's doing something, and somehow there's a camera following him, and it's just that's probably like the biggest part that I didn't like. This movie, I would say, is pretty by the bones, or whatever the saying is. It's just it doesn't do anything original, but you don't have to do things original to be better. Just make an entertaining movie, and watching this movie, it was pretty good. So I'll put the letters on the board, the TV, the YouTube, the whatever, and I'll give it an A, because I think you should, if you are, and I'll preface this, if you are a gamer and you've played Portal, none of these really played online games, for the most part they're pretty respectful. Channing Tatum's in this, and so he's at the beginning of the movie. He's the guy with the sunglasses, and one guy's explaining, I'm like, "Is that Channing Tatum?" Because they don't really IMDb doesn't put him on here, and I don't know how IMDb does their ratings, but they, it's like, is that Channing? So Channing Tatum does this. He's like, he is the top guy, and so Guy ends up meeting him, and he's just like, "Yeah, you should say my catchphrase, so people will like will respect me or whatever." And the guy's like, okay, well, what's your catchphrase? He's like, crime matters or something like that, and guy's like, I'm not saying that, and of course, the guy lives with his mom, so if you because he starts going, Mom, leave me alone, and his mom is walking in the background of the real life person of who was ever playing him, vacuuming and stuff, and I thought that was kind of funny. It's an old stereotype joke that people that gamers live in their basements, but definitely, this is a fun movie to watch, especially if you're a gamer. So yeah, later.